In today's hyper-connected world, our lives often feel like a whirlwind of responsibilities. Juggling children, careers, relationships, and the relentless stream of digital inputs from this tiny yet mighty device in our hands. These modern marvels, these smartphones, are more powerful than any computers from the 80s and 90s. For context, a smartphone, and I checked this on Uncle Google earlier, is magnitudes more powerful than the computer on the 1988 space shuttle. That is wild! And these continually bombard us with information, opinions, energy waves, and advice on how to live our lives. We're told to wake up earlier, go to bed earlier, and constantly strive to be the best versions of ourselves. But amidst all this endless input, do we ever pause and really stop and think, what do we truly want out of this life? Especially when it comes to our money. When it comes to our finances, the relentless stream can pressure us into making reactive choices. From impulsive purchases to conventional investments where it seems too good to be true and we lose that money. We lose the vision of our personal goal. Without realizing it, we fall into patterns shaped by external expectation, external pressures that have us forget about our own values. Pausing to question these choices can break the cycle. Being present. It creates a moment for us to truly live, to consider how we're using money in ways that align with our long-term vision, with our aspirations, our values, our vision for our life. It aligns where we're going to explore in pausing in the questions and provide really powerful frameworks to help you with your financial and personal freedom. It's all too easy to get swept up in the current of busyness, transforming, you might have heard this before, our human doings into, or transforming us into human doings rather than human beings. We want to be, not do, right? It's always be before do. Yet, one of the most profound gifts that we're going to be able to give ourselves is the luxury of that pause, that moment to contemplate what truly matters to each of us. Does it align with our core values? Does it align with our vision for the future that resonates deeply with our inner self? In this pursuit of sanity, which if you go back to the Latin word, sanos, it means unity. It means oneness. We must ask ourselves the most optimal questions that we can find. I believe, maybe you guys can adopt my belief, that the power of our life is really a direct reflection, or the quality of our life is a direct reflection on the quality of the questions that we're asking ourselves. So what makes us unique? What aligns with our values? How do we shape our future, especially in our relationships with money and the energy that we're putting forth to make money? So join me today as we're exploring the power of questions from Dan Sullivan, R. Nelson Nash, and the Bible, and how these insights are going to bring clarity to your future. So the Dan Sullivan question, one of my mentors, actually the gentleman who B-Reps, who introduced me to R. Nelson Nash's Becoming Your Own Banker, came and gifted me with another book. And this other book was this one question, this one powerful question. And the busyness of our lives, the busyness of our smartphones, always keeping us going, our calendars, our doing, our perpetual motion, it gives us a chance to pause and reconnect with the dreams that we had as kids, right? The dreams where we could just sit there and daydream, look out the window and think about all the things that we really want to do, the fun that we look forward to, not just doing, like what gives us energy versus what takes energy from us. And you guys can see the question, and gals can see the question on the screen. This question's a gift. This question is a gift. This type of question, this setting aspirational goals. What's that big future look like? If it all went your way, what would that look like? And to give context to this question by Dan, he was getting on the phone with a client 30 plus years ago. And the client just wanted to interview him one more time before committing to his program. And the guy's like, I want you to outline the cost, the commitment, all of the things he was afraid of. And Dan just asked this question. If we were having this discussion 3 years from today, and you were looking back over those 3 years, what has to have happened in your life, both personally and professionally, for you to feel happy? For you to feel happy with your progress? Now, when you ask this question and you give the gift of your listening, right? God gave us 2 ears, one mouth. Guess what? People will talk and tell you, if you really are genuine in your questioning, they'll tell you what they really want, because no one listens to each other. Like, that's why Oprah says the power of having someone feel seen, heard, and what they truly say, or what they say, truly matters. When Dan asked this question, the client talked for 23 minutes straight and then said, okay, I'm good. I want to be part of this program. It's the power of community. It's the power of seeing each other. And so think of that gift that you can give someone. Think of that gift that you can give to yourself in this moment. Write this question down. Write this question down and ask yourself later, when you're reflecting on your day, what does that look like 3 years from now? What have you had to do personally and professionally to have grown and become the person that you need to be? That one question is, if you take nothing more from this whole training, this whole webinar away, that one question has the power to transform your future, because it's taken you out of the tyranny of how. How am I going to do this? How am I going to make more money? How am I going to grow my $1 million, $2 million, $10 million, $100 million business, my $100,000 business, whatever your thing is? How am I going to lead my family? How am I going to do these things? It's tyranny. It is not giving yourself permission and the clarity, the motivation, the guiding decisions that you're going to need. And this question genuinely gives you a gift, and it's rare. It's rare to pause. It's rare to slow down. So again, the purpose of this question is to spark some forward thinking. Do you guys like this question? Is it powerful? Any thoughts? Like, share in the chat. Share below. It creates a clear, actionable vision of what success means for the individual. Remember, it's never about us. In the 4 agreements, don't take it personal. It's never about you. This conversation, it's about you. It's about you. It's not about me. I'm sharing, I'm teaching because I need to learn this too. So imagine yourself 3 years ahead. Get specific. Set that personal goal. Set that professional goal. Identify the priorities that are going to help you reach these goals. And here's how it helps transform the future. Again, it's going to give you those clarifying goals. Define what success looks like to you, not to someone else. It's personal. It's vivid, and it'll move you away from the abstract to clear goals, to definable goals, to things that you can measure and monitor. It's going to motivate you to take action. It's going to be like that magnet that Jim Rohn talks about in the future. It's going to pull you. You're going to have a future so big that it's going to pull you towards that future. Because motivation won't last, but that vision, that why, will get you there. And if you need to peel back the layers of onions, just keep asking yourself why for 7 layers deep, and you'll peel the onion. You'll figure out what's underneath it. Why do I want to do this? Who am I doing this for? Why is this motivating to me? And then those guiding decisions, again, those benchmarks, those steps to get you there. And I love this stuff to help create these questions and take the space. And for me, it's probably the thing that I need the most in my life, along with patience. Anybody else here need a little bit more patience? So again, Dan's question is used widely in the coaching, business, personal development. Dan's co-authored 3 books recently with Dr. Benjamin Hardy, Who Not How, right? 10x is easier than 2x, and the gap or the gain. Again, abundant thinking, giving ourselves permission. And again, inviting you to imagine your future. What has to have happened for you to feel happy with your progress? It's challenging you to look ahead. Not just 1 or 2 steps, but 3 years. Maybe you can go further, 5 years, and consider the type of future that you really desire. Maybe you desire to go just live on a beach and help the community, keep it safe, keep it clean. I don't know. Whatever your big thing is. And this long-term perspective will help you say no to more things. It'll help you define your purpose. It'll help you move beyond today's limitations, financially too. It'll help you understand what aligns with your values. Remember, sanity, not insanity. And so let's tie this to Nelson Nash, right? This is all about our thinking. So just keep thinking, rethinking your thinking and what you're thinking with your thinker, right? We're thinking together. So Nelson Nash's philosophy, plan like you're going to live forever and live like today's your last day. What a beautiful sentiment. It aligns perfectly with Dan's question. And we're going further. We're going 40, 50, 60, 70 years in the future. We're going to tie back to the present, and then we're going to make progress, because progress is what? Progress equals happiness. So Nash suggests that we should invest in the future without sacrificing today's joy and intention. Not like some of the other, I don't know what you want to call them, entertainers, financial entertainers, maybe a Dave Ramsey or Susie Orman, where they're having you stuff all your money in a coffee mug or in a suitcase and bury it somewhere. I mean, that's scrimping, that's saving, that's playing prevent defense. Has anyone, pop it in the chat, yes or no? Give me a Y or an N. Has anyone ever actually won a game playing prevent defense? It's preventing you from winning. No, it's abundance, it's love. It is the questions, again, that are going to move you forward. And Gabe, that's exactly right. That is that forward intention you picked, and you should all, I want you each to give yourself the gift of what is the thing that you do that brings you joy and adds value to other people that doesn't ever feel like work. For me, it's connecting with you. For me, it's learning about you. I love people. I want to know about everyone. I want to know what your goals are, your dreams are, your vision, and I find it fascinating. And there's so many unique variations of us, you can never get bored. At least that's my thing, right? And so knowing these alignments, knowing this clarity, knowing these seeds is going to flourish beyond the immediate. And so again, we're balancing this foresight by living fully today and then making each action count. It always starts with action, like Nike said. You know, you just got to do it. This living in the present that I put here, YOLO, that came from this past weekend. We're driving up to speak in Jacksonville, and as we're driving there, Diego starts telling us this fun story. Remember that time I told you I was going here? Well, this girl I knew from high school invited me to Jacksonville, to North Florida University, and I thought, wow, she's really pretty, I'm gonna go. He actually said, she's really hot, I'm gonna go. And so he went, they went out, and he goes, at the end of his story, he laughs, and he goes, YOLO. You know, I might have got mad in the past, but I was saying he's right. Nothing's guaranteed. You only live once. And then again, going back to the 4 agreements, when we're building for the future, when we're building those principles and seeing and like being open and not taking it personally, I was like, man, I'm not a very good dad. My son was 2.5 hours away driving and we didn't even know, and then partying and coming back. But hey, again, you only live once, and we're always doing our best. And I was glad he was able to share that with me. And so I'm going to go into this Galatians 6 through 7 through 9, which says it's the principles of sowing and reaping. It's the principles of patience, of long-term thinking. So do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked. A man, a woman reaps what he sows, what she sows. So let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Just as we plant seeds with the faith that in their future harvest, each action we take today, guided by the vision of our future, serves as an investment towards a greater purpose. We each have a greater purpose. We are each made in the image of our Creator, and we each have a gift that we can share. And unlike a specially engineered whole life policy that is guaranteed to get better every single day, as long as you're making your premium deposits. It's guaranteed to go on a line from left to the top right on a sheet as far as the value goes. That's not what success looks like in our life. It goes up and down, up and down, up and down. And then when we get to really lows, that's usually, if we're willing to look into that and see it as a lesson and a blessing, we will be able to move forward. So this principle, this biblical principle, underscores the idea that we nurture, we cultivate, we give things love now with patience, perseverance. It's going to bear fruit. And this is true in all aspects of our life, including our money. Without sowing and loving money, there can't be any harvest. And I don't mean loving it like you're beholden to it, but loving it like you respect it. It can't be the weird uncle. Money can't be the weird uncle. You have to invite it into your house. You have to let it move and flow. And Gabe said it, the seasons in life. And so in uniting Dan Sullivan's powerful question, that is basically the foundation for his strategic coaching, Nash's philosophy and long-term thinking and living as if, or planning as if we're going to live forever and living for today, as someone who had open heart surgery, and then the biblical principle of sowing and reaping, we're reminded that life's purpose is built both on long-term vision and daily commitments based in our greatest self, our values. And so cultivating these seeds of intention, grounded in faith, foresight, we can look forward to a future that's going to bring true satisfaction, fulfillment, not only to ourselves, but for those that we love and hope to impact on whatever level. It might be just a ripple effect where you influence one person. Like we were talking earlier in a dad's coaching group, how this guy was a recovering alcoholic and he had a young son, and he looked to somebody in his church to guide him. He said, "Hey, would it be okay? Would you give me guidance? I see your 3 boys and they've grown up to be great men, and they're so open and they serve the community and they're so aligned with themselves and they seem so confident." And so he started going, and now because of this guy Frank, right, 20 plus years ago, now this guy's son is about to be a father and he's having the same conversations as his dad. It's a ripple effect that spans generations. The same way that we can build legacy if we think and treat our money with this intentional question. So let's get real for a second. You guys are being interactive, but what's your biggest fear? I'll tell you mine, but pop it in the chat. I've thought a lot about this over the last couple of weeks. We got some stuff going on in my family where you never are ready for tough things, but it had me really get introspective with myself and sit down. So what is your greatest fear? Julio doesn't have any fear. BS. BS. I love you, brother. I know you, but I appreciate it. But what's your greatest fear in life? Mine's wasting time. Mine is going down a rabbit hole that's not going to work and investing a lot of time and energy while my life passes by. It's doing the deep work and then, sowing those seeds and not having anything to reap. And that's ridiculous. I know it's ridiculous. So if I keep peeling back the why, it's really more about fear of rejection. Maybe it's even fear of failure. I would give you that they are the only 2 fears there are. Everything either boils down, again, keeping it simple, to fear of rejection or fear of failure. Mine's wasting time. So I appreciate you guys sharing, thinking. Maybe this is something you reflect on earlier or later. So we're going to go through one more parable, and you guys have about reaping and sowing. And this one is the parable of talents. Matthew, I heard this one recently and I love it. 25:14-30 offers a powerful lesson on stewardship. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about who we are as stewards of our money, of our energy, of our resources. And in the story, the 3 servants are entrusted with their master's money, and 2 go invest it and get a return, one more than the other, while the third buries the money in the ground. And then when the master returns, the first 2 come back and they give their amounts that they've grown, right? They've invested and their money's moved and it's brought back more value by adding value. And the third brings the same amount. And he's condemned for his inaction. He's condemned for his lack of initiative. And the story serves us to remember that we have to actively grow. We can't have a rival syndrome, as Nelson talks about. We have to be a steward of our resources rather than let fear lead us to bury them, like Susie, Orman, and Dave might want us to do. We don't go bury stuff in the yard or put it under our mattress. If you're not acting on your biggest dream, why? And once you understand it, give yourself the grace and acknowledge that if you're making progress, celebrate. If you fell down, get back up. If you're not acting, why? What's keeping you from acting? What is that fear? And without any action, there can't be healthy struggles, right? Just reframe it. It's a healthy struggle. It's not failure. And so I'm going to give you a quick list of questions that would maybe help you address and build some of this confidence. And it's just, again, in the principles, take small, meaningful steps towards the actions, towards that vision that you set that's 3 years away or maybe 5 years away. Identify and address the fear and consider the positive impact on your actions are going to have on others. It's not about you. Go serve. So here's some questions. What would your ideal financial future look like 3, 5, or even 10 years from now? Consider the kind of life that you want to leave, the legacy you hope to build, and how you want your finances to support and reflect your values. Money is just a tool that's going to amplify who you are inside. So imagine you've achieved financial freedom. How will you spend your time? Who are you helping? What impact are you making? And envisioning this is going to help you clarify why financial freedom actually matters to you. Everyone tells me they want freedom, but why? Beyond just doing what you want, what really matters to you? What really matters? And knowing that your daily actions affect others, your family, your community, those that you hope to serve, maybe those you haven't even met yet. This can help you stay consistent. Remember, when you see someone super successful, like maybe Freddie Freeman, hitting all those home runs, you spend a lot of time practicing. A lot of time, like Allen Iverson. We're talking about practice? Yes, we're talking about doing the work, doing the little things, and being consistent and persistent with those things. So I'm going to just go through this quickly. Again, these questions, it's the power of the questions. Going back to Dan's question, what would your life have to look like 3 years from now for you to be happy with the progress, personally and professionally? And how could you grow these to honor the talents, the responsibility that you've been entrusted with? And what are those talents? What are the things that you love doing? I happen to be super curious, so I love doing a lot of things, and I realized I thought I could never earn money by talking to people and having conversations about things I find interesting. And when I finally applied that to understanding money, to understanding financial truths, and learning how to have a money philosophy, well, everything fits together for a reason, right? So we want to reframe our fear into a faithful stewardship of your time, your resources, your energy. And again, you guys are different. Anyone that's watching this and still here, thank you. You're giving your greatest resource, your time, your energy, your focus, to learn something, to take away something from today. I don't know what you're going to take away from this, but whatever it is, it might just be the thing that moves you towards that greater future. Don't bury your potential. Don't stick your head in the sand and be an ostrich out of fear. Out of fear of what? The only person that can reject you is you. The only way you fail is if you're dead. So go do the things that you need to do. Take the actions that'll move you towards your goals. Honor your gifts. Take action. The daily small steps will move you towards your bigger dreams. And so remember, life's not a checklist to be completed. You don't just check off the boxes and win the game. It's all about the journey. And guys, I know, because I'm a write down all my goals every day, write down the three biggest things, the takeaways, reflect, and look at myself and be proud, say, good job, Jason, way to check these goals off. And I often look at some of them and said, man, these would have taken me minutes to do, but I made it the thing for the day because I didn't have another thing. because I didn't take time to give myself the space to say, what is that big vision? How do I make more connections, inspire more, educate more, bring the infinite banking concept so everything that we do can be with infinite banking as a foundation. There's no gold medals or stars or stickers for checking off this exhaustive to-do list. Instead, true fulfillment lies in the moments we create for ourselves to dream, explore, and simply be a human being, not doing. So let's reflect. Let's take some time tonight. Write it in the chat if you want to share more. And if you guys want to have a conversation with me, if you want to come share your dreams with me, have me listen to you, help you plan a roadmap for financial freedom, scan that QR code, book a call with me. It's free, but it's not easy. You're going to actually have to do the work. And make sure that you all are here for the next several weeks. We got Gabe tuning in today. Together we're putting together something new, unique, and stupid simple when it comes to the infinite banking concept. And so I'm looking forward to co-creating with Gabe, to co-hosting with Gabe, and to teaching the way that we learn and we educate people. So if whether you're a white belt, a black belt, meaning that you're already practicing IBC, maybe you're a second degree black belt, come for the next couple weeks. We have 9 weeks planned where we're going to keep sharing stupid, simple concepts of how you can guaranteed change your life for the better, your family's financial future. So looking forward to seeing you all next week. If you got any questions, pop in the chat. Otherwise, be blessed, and I will see you next Thursday, same time. We explored what it's like to live in this fast-paced world where we're constantly bombarded by input, external input. Many of us feel like we're barely keeping our faces above the water. We're barely surviving. We're going so fast that we're not stopping and thinking, what does my heart want? What is my gift? What would have had to have happened in the next 3 years for you to feel happy with your progress? We tied this into R. Nelson Nash's teachings of long-term thinking. We tie this into biblical principles that you have to sow, be patient, and be loving to be able to reap the reward. So if you've enjoyed this, make sure that you're smashing the like button, that you're subscribing to the channel, and that you're ringing the bell, because as my son says, it might just turn blue. I'll see you in the next video talking more about the infinite banking concept, our long-term thinking, and really understanding yourself and what your goals are. I wish you nothing but the best on your journey. I look forward to seeing you in that next video. Until then, God bless, be blessed, take action. See you soon.